Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Sachi-Nandana, Jaya Gaurari, Sachi Mata Pranodhana, Nadia Bihari. Jaya Sachi-Nandana, Jaya Gaurari, Vishnu Priya Pranodhana, Nadia Bihari. Jaya Sachi-Nandana, Jaya Gaurari, Advaitera Pranodhana, Gaura Gaura Hari. Jaya Shachi Nandana Jaya Gaurari Gadadhari Pranadhana Nadiya Bihari Jaya Sachi Nandana Jaya Gaurari Nityanand Jivana Dhana Sankirtan Bihari Jaya Sachi Nandana Jaya Gaurari Kali Bhayo Nashana Gaura Gaura Hari Nitai Hai Gaura Hai Nitai Hai Gaura Hai Nitai Hai Gaura Hai Nitai Hai Gaura Hai Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gaur Nataraj Jaya Gaur Nataraj Gaur Nataraj Jaya Gaur Nataraj Jaya Sitaram Bhakta Lakshman Hanuman Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Jaya Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Sitaram Lakshman Bhakta Hanuman Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jagat Guru Prabhupada 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Mataji. Om Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Parama Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha. Prahlada Nara Parasara Prahlada Narada Parasara Pundarike Vyasamrisha Sukha Saunaka Bhishma Dhalvyan Rukmanga Udava Vibhishna Palgunadin Punyan Imam Bhagavatam Parami Nigama Kalpataror Kalitam Palam Sukha Mugad Amritam Dhruva Samyutam Vipata Bhagavatam Rasamalaya Muravo Rasika Bhuvi Bhavakaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Shaiva Narottamam Jaivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranama Dukkha Samanam Tam Namami Harim Param Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Whatever we try to do in our life, it requires a proper guidance. We may try to learn things on our own. That may work out with the material science. But when it comes to the spiritual science, there are so many resources that's available. We can go to the internet and pull so many things, and we can become very scholarly, we can learn things. But what happens is that it is like how Karna got his knowledge from Parasurama. When it's really needed, that knowledge will not help. Unless and until one receives the knowledge from a guru, that knowledge cannot sustain within us. Therefore, this guru disciple, guru sishya lineage is so very important in our tradition. It has to go through receiving the mantras, must be through gurus. Receiving a meaning of the mantras must be from a guru. Receiving a knowledge from the mantra should be from a guru. How to lead our life God consciously, that also be taught from by a guru. So we should understand that guru is not an optional program in our life, and that's not Sanatana Dharma is. The Sanatana Dharma emphasizes that every single individual must have a guru in their life. What we have been seeing from the last time that we met is how this Avadhuta was having gurus, not one guru. It has been mentioned 24 gurus. So one might get into the mood of thinking that, well, I also have a guru. Cell phone is my guru. More I get involved and indulge in my cell phone, it teaches me a lesson. My mind get corrupted. My time will get wasted. Therefore, I consider the cell phone as my guru. I consider Facebook as my guru. We can also start telling many things, because the way that this Avadhuta is considering one to be a guru is not only that we can get something good from that. Even when you're getting something which you're not supposed to do as a lesson from something, he considers that as a guru. We can do the same thing too, by the way. But all these are necessary for us to learn lessons from the nature. That does not denies us of having a physical guru. One should have a guru, physical guru. So that is very important, that we need to learn and understand and accept that fact. Unless and until we have that, then it's going to be very difficult in our life to understand the reality of the life. Therefore, in this chapter that we are seeing, he lists out this 24 gurus: Prithvi, Vayur, Akasham, Apaha, Agnis, Chandrama, Ravihi, Kapato, Ajaha, Sindhuhu, Patangaha, Matukrit, Gajaha, Madhuha, Harina, Meenaha, Pingala, Kururo, Arbakaha, Kumari, Shara, Krit Sarpa, Urnanabihi, Supiksha Krit. So he lists out all these things and he goes over what he learned from them. So quickly we'll recap what we covered and then we'll continue today and try to finish this session if possible by today, this topic. From the earth, we can learn how earth is so tolerant. Therefore, we also have to be tolerant. There could be people harassing us. So we have to be tolerant. We understand what tolerance, that level means. So we're not going to get into the details. We went through all those things already. Air carries and mixes with many different areas, but then it doesn't become that. It goes through the land filling and it's there, the smells different. It goes to the botanical garden, it smells different, but it doesn't become that and it doesn't carry all those things with it forever. Like that, we also move with different types of people. Good people, bad people, like that. So we don't try to become them. Of course, good people, we can cultivate good qualities, especially focusing on the bad things. We don't want to become them, right? Sky, Akasha. Akasha is, everything is depending on Akash, sky. But Akash is not dependent on anyone. Just take this as an example for this reason, because Akash is also depending on God. But for us to understand this, the message here, everything is depending on Akasham, and Akasham is not depending on anyone. Likewise, if one life is depending on, if we get dependent on our belongings, like wife, children, father, mother, wealth, all those different things, then it's going to be very difficult when we don't have them. Therefore, what we have to learn from Akash is if anyone wants to be dependent on you, that's well and good. You help them and take care of them, but you don't become dependent on them. Right? It's not to say that cut off their things, You help them, you do whatever service, your roles and responsibility, you take care of them, but you don't be dependent on them. That's a thing we learn from Akash. Water is pure. Likewise, we must also become pure in behaviors and characters. Water is wet. Our heart should be wet. That means what? It has to be soft. It shouldn't be hot. Right? Water is cool. Likewise, we also have to be cool when things happen in our life. Water is clean. Therefore, we have to cultivate the clean habits. Water is nectarian. Therefore, we should also be pleasing in the way that we are with others. Nectarian. And water quenches the thirst. Likewise, the great sages, sadhus, they also quenches our thirst of samsara, get us out of this place. That's what we learn from water. Fire. What fire does is, fire is something which never be satisfied. You throw anything in it, it keeps consuming. Whatever you throw in, it keeps consuming it. Even though it consumes everything, it takes the essence of it and throws the unwanted things out, pushes off. It becomes ash. Right? Likewise, we may be interacting with many types of people, different types of people. We take essence from that people. And there could be other bad things. We throw them off. We don't take both the things and go. We have to be careful, like Hamsa bird. We have to take what is needed from it and then throw the rest. Moon. From the moon, did we cover moon? I think we did. No? We did cover, yeah. From the moon, we understand the Atma Swarupa, the nature of Atma. You see, the moon is new moon, that is Amavasya. And the full moon is Paurnami. When Paurnami is there, slowly day by day, what happens? The full moon reduces. And as if there's no moon exists. And then the moon starts slowly coming. The crescent, and then it becomes a half moon, and then it becomes a 3/4, and then becomes a full moon. When I see this, he's telling, I don't say I see it. I don't see like that. But the Avaduta is telling that when I see that, I understand the nature of Atma. Actually, it appears that the moon keeps changing, but moon never change. It is moon. All the time it is there. But when I see from there, it just grows and diminishes, right? Like that, I feel that I understand that Atma is there. Atma doesn't grow. Atma doesn't become old. Atma doesn't go through any of these changes. It is only the body which goes through the changes. I learned from the moon. What did you learn from the sun? He's saying, sun is my next guru. Sun is my next guru. When it says that when you see the bright sun and you see down on the river or the lake, you see the reflection of the sun. Right? You see the sun, it is stable. Achalam. Achalam means it's not chalam. Chalam means flickering, flickers. And when you see the sun, it's not flickering, it's achalam. But when I see down the same sun and I see the seas on the pond, it's flickering. Confusing. It's not flickering there, it's flickering here. Then I closely observe that then it's not the sun which is flickering. It is because of the water in the pond got disturbed. And it looks like the sun is disturbed. The Atma is never disturbed. It is because of the interaction of the material nature, it appears as if Atma is going through the sufferings. Atma is disturbed. But Atma is not going through any of these things. I learned that from the sun. Next. Pigeon. We covered this one. Now I remember we covered. So we saw from the pigeon how the male pigeon was attached to his family. And when the family is going away taken by the hunter, he started screaming. And what happened is he's saying that my wife life is gone, my children life is gone, they are going to be killed, they will die. It was thinking like that, it was crying and screaming. The hunter saw and shot an arrow on the penguin. Like that, we also, right, we attended so many of this, go to this, what is that place? We went last week. That funeral. Oh, funeral home. Funeral home. Every time we all go, we go and see and we console people, we'll talk to them and we cry with them together because someone is dead. And interestingly, the hunter is waiting for us. We are going to be lying down there. We don't know when. And there's going to be someone else surrounding and doing the same thing what we did for them. It is quite interesting. Ahani ahani bhutani kachantihi yamalayam. Right? Like that Yudhishthira Maharaj said, every given moment, people are just rushing towards Yamaloka. And one was the Stavaram Ichanti. Whoever is remaining like us are thinking, I still have more time is left. It's too early for me. I still have time. I'm just 40. I'm just only 50. I'm only whatever the age is. So likewise, the male pigeon was crying for his family, but then it's died. Therefore, I learned the life is anityam. From the pigeon, I learned the life is anityam. Anityam, it's not nityam. This place is very temporary place. We never know what's going to happen to anyone. First of all, you feel pity of yourself. That's the thing, that is what we pity. That doesn't mean that you come and start crying, I'm going to die, I'm going to die, I'm going to die. That's not the message. It's understand the reality of the life. It's very anityam. We don't know who's going to go first, who's going to go next. Age doesn't matter. I learned from that. I think that's where we stopped. Now comes, my next guru is a Python. Python, you see, I saw when I went to this, one time I went to the zoo, they had, I don't know, that Python is not there. A few years back, I saw it's not there anymore, but I don't know what happened. It was a very big, like a anaconda. It's a big one. Doesn't move. You don't know whether it's living or not living. Then you closely see, you can see the body it's breathing, just breathing. It just doesn't, there's no movement at all. It's just there, but huge body. It doesn't make any effort to even go and search for his food. That's the point. But whatever comes on its way, it takes it. Whether it's palatable or it's not palatable, whether it's a mice or whether it's a deer, doesn't care. Whatever it comes, it just takes it. And so this message is especially for this message is for sannyasis, but doesn't mean that we should not apply that. Grahasthas can also apply that. So sannyasis are two types. Madhukaris. They take a bowl and go door to door, and then they ask for whatever they get, they come and eat that. That's all. They don't put extra achar, put some extra salt. Doesn't matter. Whatever falls on them, the bowl that they come and take and eat. That's it. And they don't worry about what's going to happen the evening dinner for me or tomorrow. Ajaharaha, next type is this type of Python type, where they don't even go out. They just stay in one place. God willing, I'll get something. If not, today is my fasting day. Today is Ekadeshi. Today is my fasting day. I don't start thinking that should I make sabudana khichdi or sabudana vada, fried vada with the extra cashew nuts on it, or I have to make pizza, Ekadeshi pizza. It doesn't think about anything. Whatever I have to eat, God gives, let me eat. Otherwise, I'll fast. That's another type of sannyasis. Another type of sannyasi. But it doesn't mean that we should not apply as family members. We can reduce our demands also as a grahastha. We can also follow these things to some extent. Next, I learned something from sea, ocean. Sea is ocean. You see, when the dams are there, the dams to stop the river to overflow, the dams are there. If there's a heavy rain, they have to open. They have to open something to let the water go, or it's going to overflow, or it's going to damage the dam. It happens. And in India, we've seen several times it happens. It breaks the dams and destroys the whole close by village, several village dams. But whatever the heavy rain it may be, have you ever seen a ocean to overflow? Never. It's never happens. That's not a case with ocean. The lakes looks beautiful. The ponds looks beautiful when there is a rain, because it fills up, so it looks nice. If there is no rain, it becomes dry. Otherwise it's artificial man-made lake. Then you got to keep doing something. You have to treat the water. You have to change the water, put another water. All those things should happen. And that's had to happen. But the ocean never has to go through any of these things. So the person like this, he should also be content in whatever he have. The person should be content in whatever he have. Sometimes things may come in our life out of our good karmas. If we have to enjoy those things, we enjoy it, but don't become one with that enjoyment. There's a story of a saint by name called Ranganatha Goswami in Maharashtra. He is a disciple of Samartha Ramadas, who's very well known, Samartha Ramadas. So this Ranganatha Goswami has been always surrounded by a lot of sensual pleasure. People are giving him gifts. He wears a lot of ornaments. The people are there to do chamara, fan him. He has a lot of servants. And he's a servant of Samartha Ramadas, who doesn't have anything. So his disciples, Samartha Ramadas' disciple, went and told, something is not right here. You are such a renounced person. You're not attached to anything, but your disciple, Ranganath Goswami, is Goswami, by the way. You know what Goswami means, right? Right. So anyway, but he's been enjoying all the material things. Something has to be corrected. So could you please advise him, instruct him to behave properly? So, but then Samartha Ramadas, he knows his disciple very well. So he did not say anything. He smiled and then he left. Then he went to his disciple, Ranganath Goswami. When he went there, Ranganath Goswami was sitting somewhere and people are fanning him with peacock fan and chamara and things like that. So as soon as he saw his guru, he just came out, he fell at the feet and then asked, how can he serve him? He said, what is going on here? What are you doing here with all these different things? And then Ranganath Goswami said, well, I don't know, Maharaj Shivaji gave this, so I'm just using them. Okay, return them all. You don't need these things. Send them back to him. And Ranganath Goswami said, as you wish. As you wish. Just imagine you are living in a nice place and you've been thrown into an apartment. What a difficult time. Or you're driving a very nice car and you have to go to something, third, fourth hand car. How that is going to be? You've been eating nice food and now you have to eat only khichdi without pickle, papad, no salt. But he didn't say any of those things. He said, yes, my lord, whatever you say. And now he ordered those people to just take everything and go away, give it back. Then he said, now you walk with me. He told his disciple, come with me. Like any other disciple, you also come with me. We are going to go and beg for alms, bhiksha. So they all went and they came through one place and Samartha Ramadas told that you stay under this tree. He gave a special instruction to Raghunath Goswami. You stay in this place, then I'll come back. We do the collection, come back and give whatever left out to you also. He said, okay, I'll stay here only. And he said, Rama, 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 Sita, Rama. He just started meditating. Raghunath. And then they all went. At that same time, Maharaj Shivaji was with his whole group. He was just traveling. He's coming that side. Someone told him that Raghunath Goswami is there, is doing dhyana over there. As soon as he heard, he wanted to come and take his blessings. So he came. As soon as he came, he saw it was scorching heat. He was sitting under the sun. It was really hot, sweating. So what's happening? He is my guru's disciple. I should treat him as much as I treat my guru. This is the consciousness he had. He didn't think he's my peer. He is also disciple. He is also disciple. He did not think we are peers. That's okay. Leave him. No, he said, he is my guru's disciple. Therefore, he is as good as my guru. Therefore, I should respect him and treat him and take care of him. Just imagine the consciousness they had. For us, everyone is equal. It doesn't matter. Right? So that's how they are able to cultivate that bhakti. And we always have this difficulty. I am chanting, I am doing and all, but still I'm not able to get that real bhakti. Why that? Because we're not following some basic principles of Vaishnava culture. Therefore, without disturbing Raghunath Goswami, he told his servants to build a nice tent around him. Very nice tent. So he made a nice tent, but still he is Sri Rama, Sri Rama, Sri Rama, Sri Rama, Sita Ram, Sri Ram. He was just meditating, Goswami. But he built a nice one. As soon as built this one, now he's got suffocated inside. There's no air going inside. So he called a couple of his personal servants who used to do chamara for king. He told, you go and do there. Now he's sitting and chanting. He doesn't know what's happening, but he's having people around and they're doing chamara for Raghunath Goswami. Then he said, my guru is, I have to worship him. Therefore, he took a nice garland and offered him the garland. He doesn't know that also. Then he put a nice chadar around him, silk, expensive one. He put, still continuing chant. By the time Samartha Ramadas came with his disciples, he said, where is the tree? Where is it? He said, he couldn't find the tree, and he saw a nice, beautiful tent, and then he saw the chariot, and the king is standing in front like this, in front of Raghunath Goswami, standing like this, waiting for him to open his eyes. He went there and said, what's happening here? He said, Raghunath, get up. Then he got up and fell at the feet of his guru and said, sorry, please forgive me. I didn't realize you're here. That's all okay. What is again? You got back to the old program. I told you not to do this one. Again, you got into the same program. He had no clue what's happened, right? He said, it's all your will. He said, this is what he said. It is all simply your will, my Lord. Yes, sir. And then after hearing this, the guru turned towards other disciples. And he said, this is the glory of Raghunath Goswami. Even though he had everything, he was not into that one. That's a point. For people who are like that, doesn't matter whether they are rich, they have riches or they don't have riches. Whether they live in a big house or a small house. Whether people praises them or they criticize them. They don't. They're not affected at all. And that was the level how he was. We can find such characters also in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But this is something we never heard the story. I thought I'll just share this one. So this is something that we need to learn, that we don't get over, like we have to be like a ocean. When something happens, we become overjoyed. I got it. No. When nothing happens, we start becoming like this, sad. There's this, I don't know if I told this joke. There's one, this one friend came to meet another friend of him. He was really in a depressed situation. He was sad like this. He was sitting like this. So the other friend asked, what happened to you? Well, he said that just 6 months back, my uncle passed away. Oh, this friend said, oh, very sad. No, but then he left half of his his will. He wrote a will on me. So I got a lot of property of his. Oh, that's good. 3 months back, my aunt passed away. Oh, remaining property, she wrote to me. Okay. 2 months back, my father passed away. Okay. I got his property. Oh, that is good. Why are you worried? Then he said, 1 month back, my brother passed away. He also gave the property to me. I see. It's been more than 3 weeks now. No one passed away. That's why I'm worried. So that's what we learned from ocean. Next, moth. The moth, right? Moth. So he says, now this moth, what it does is, when it sees something glittering, lightning, it gets attracted and it goes. And when it goes, then it understands it's a lamp. One of his wings get burnt. Now it only has one wing. Already one wing is gone. Now he says, one is gone, that is by mistake. I still have another wing. Let me try, make another attempt. It goes again to the lamp. Second wing is also burnt and it falls off underneath the lamp. Now we said we should have determination. Determination, it climbs up. When it climbs up, there's no way it can get out of, it doesn't have wings anymore. It gets burnt. It gets burnt. The foolish person with no intelligent discrimination, he get attracted to this, he get attracted to the opposite gender. It get attracted to the opposite gender. When it says the purport and Prabhupada's purports gives more picturizes whole thing. So you all understand what that means. So one who is foolish get into this attraction of opposite gender. What happens is, like a moth, they get burnt into ashes. Therefore, one should be very careful. Follow the dharma. What is needed, how much needed, that much is enough. Especially you're following the Grahastha ashram, then there are rules. How much one is allowed to enjoy, or how much not. One has to follow those things. Otherwise, one gets burnt. Next is honeybee. Honeybee is, what it does is, throughout the day, throughout the weeks, throughout the month, it works really hard. Go from place to place, different places, and collects honeys. It goes from India, it comes to America. Within America, it tries to go to different places. I'm not happy with this job because it's giving little salary. Let me move to another job. Right. So I try to find different places, try to collect all the different things and put it in the bag. Now, honeybee. That's what we all try to do. Try to collect as much as possible. And what happens is, once sannyasi comes, this is again sannyasi dharma. Sannyasi comes, it takes away everything. Means sannyasi has the liberty to take away the wealth of grahasthas. There's nothing wrong in doing so, by the way. That is their dharma. If they don't do that, they're letting us to get attached to our wealth. That's the reason. That's why it is very important when sannyasi comes, we have to give. We have to invite them and give even before they ask. Sometimes people are afraid to invite sannyasis or go close to the sannyasi because they know we have to give something to them. It's a tradition. Therefore, they don't come to the program. They don't want to invite them and they don't want to do anything. From there, he's saying, what is this guy showing action like this, like this, like this? Maybe you should just come and hear what I'm talking about. So that I learned from honeybee. Now again comes elephant. From the elephant, what I learned is, he tells in the way that they capture the elephant, they get the hunt for elephant, get the elephant, is by they train a female elephant, she elephant. They train. Don't ask me how they caught the she elephant. I don't know. But they assuming starting point. It's like, it's a question of whether karma comes first or I was born first. It's the question always get into our mind, right? Like that. I don't know whether the she elephant, how the she elephant was caught, or by the he elephant, or I don't know that. But understand this. With the touch, what they do is they make a big pit in the forest. And then they cover it with nice grass. Put the bamboo sticks, and then cover it with the grass. It looks like a flat area. And when the he elephant is somewhere, you cannot go and catch the he elephant directly. So they train the she elephant in such a way that the she elephant goes and touches the male elephant and goes in the front. As soon as it gets a sparish, a touch of the she elephant, this he elephant becomes mad. It tries to chase, go behind the she elephant. And the she elephant is so well trained, it knows exactly where the pit is. It goes as bypassing that. And this elephant, the he elephant runs so fast, it goes and falls into the pit straight. And this he elephant will not be given food for days. It's put into a condition where it starves. Then it's somehow taken out and trained after that point. That's how the elephants are trained. The man possessing intelligent discrimination should not, under any circumstances, try to exploit the beautiful form of a woman for his sense gratification. Just as an elephant trying to enjoy a she-elephant is killed by other bull elephants, also enjoying her company. One trying to enjoy a lady's company can at any moment be killed by her other lovers who are stronger than he. That we learned from elephant. Honey hunter. Honey hunter. A greedy man accumulates a large quantity of money with great. This is similar to what we saw for the honey bee. Okay, so we'll move on to the next one. Deer. Gramya Geetamna Shunuyat. Yatir Vana Charaha Kvachit. So we see that a deer, the way that the hunter captures the deer is by playing some nice music. The deer get attracted to the music. By playing flute or something, the deer comes, and nearby, as it comes closer, they will have net put, and the deer get caught into the thing. Likewise, what it's been said is that sounds are of two types. There's a good sound and there's a bad sound. Good sound and bad sound. We all know what good sound and bad sound means. Bad sound, which anything to do, not to do, to our benefit of our Atma. That's all bad sounds. Hearing to the movie songs, watching movies is also another one. Like, a moth example can be connected to watching movies and all those sort of things. All these things takes away our consciousness from God. Therefore, one should only try to hear good sounds. Hearing Bhagavad Katha, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, chanting the names of God, Vedic mantras, those things. Whereas the sound which increases our Rajoguna and Tamoguna are called bad sounds. If you're not careful and discriminate what is good sound and bad sound, we'll be like a deer get caught. Therefore, we should be very much engaging ourselves as much as possible in hearing good sounds. Whenever free time comes, put Kirtan. Whenever, or hear to some lecture. Right? Whenever time comes. Otherwise, unnecessary things will come into our ears. Sound. Next is fish. Fish is very happy in the water. Very happy. It has everything that it needs in the water. Everything. But what happens is, out of his greedy nature, the fisherman comes. He puts the baits or coke, whatever they try to put. Fishing, they throw the thing, hook, and then the fish get attracted to that and get caught. Because of his attraction towards this, cannot control the tongue. It gets caught. Likewise, we should also have restriction in what we eat. We cannot eat anything and everything. We should have restriction, because sometimes people have this question, how to control mind, how to get out of these things, how to get out of that thing. But then you check with them, their eating habit will be having problem. They'll be having problem with the eating habit. Right? If you don't have a sattvika ahara, then obviously there will be difficulties to cultivate our consciousness, to become good. Therefore, we have to decide whether we want to spiritually progress, or whether we don't care about spiritual progress. If you are really serious about spiritual progress, we have to have ahara niyama, what to eat, what not to eat. Very strictly, we have to follow that. Otherwise, our spiritual growth will be very, very slow. We have to control our tongue. With that said, then he goes into the next guru. Interestingly, it's a lady by name called Pingala. Pingala. One big chapter has been given. Beautiful slokas are there, but we'll just see a summary of it. Pingala is a prostitute. She sells her body to make money. Right? That's what Pingala was. So she lived in a place called Mithila, same place, Mithila Nahara, where Mother Sita was. Right? Mithila. So she always waits for the customer, and then she gives her body to the customer. And she looks for someone who can give more money. She waits for the best customer. One day she was waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. No one comes. And whoever comes, they didn't have enough money. Therefore, she was hoping that someone will come with a lot of money, bag of money. So she waited and waited and waited. The night went. She didn't get a customer that day. That time she thought, for the first time in her life, what am I doing? What am I doing? All I want is not a pleasure. What I want is the money. Ultimately, money is what is needed for me to have my food and have a shelter. For that reason, I'm doing this cheap business. If I had an husband, I don't need to worry about anything. He's going to take care of me. Why I should be doing this one? All I should have is an husband to take care of me. But who's going to marry me now? Being a prostitute, no one is going to marry me now. So she was just feeling miserable, thinking about her pathetic situation, what she has done, a big blunder in her life, not living like a normal other ladies, other women. I just got into a wrong direction, wrong path. No one is going to marry me. Then somehow or the other, within her heart, she got a realization. Why even I need a husband, a second husband now? This is the thing. I already have an husband. You already have an husband? No, that's now you cried that you don't have an husband. You wanted a husband. And now you're telling you don't want a second husband. What are you talking about? For everyone, the Lord who is situated within our heart is the husband. He is there. Bharta. Bharta means husband. My Bharta, my husband, is Supreme Narayana, Supreme Lord Narayana. When he is my husband, why even I need to care about all these mortal husbands, mortal men? I don't need to worry about any of these things. And when she started thinking like that, she meditated on the Lord within her heart. She became very peaceful. She became very peaceful. Therefore, there is a formula. It has been given in this particular story that he says that I learned from Pingala. That is, he says, Ashahi paramam dukkham. Ashahi paramam dukkham. I don't need to translate it. It's very easy. Asha means desire. Paramam dukkham. Parama means greatest. Dukkha means miseries. Ashahi paramam dukkham. That means as you have, it's proportionate. If you have the level of desire, that amount of desire you have, there's equal amount of miseries we will have. The opposite is true. That is, yata sanchidya kanta sham sukam sushvasa pingala. Then she said that if my desires are less, my dukkham will be less. If I want to completely get rid of my dukkham, I should get rid of desires. Now the question comes, is it even possible for us to get rid of desire? That's the next question going to, obvious question, right? But it's very obvious that if my desire increases, dukkham increases. If my desire decreases, dukkham decreases. If I want to make my dukkham zero, nil, obviously the math formula says that you have to make your desire zero. But that is not the formula. Because the answer is, but the thing is that we can never make our desire zero. It's not possible. Human means we will have desires. We'll have desires. Therefore, what we have to practice is divert your desire from the material thing to spiritual things. Divert it. No, not saying that become desireless, have a desire, but let the desire be towards your Paramatma, towards Krishna, towards Krishna. Whatever you have desired, directed towards Krishna. Be happy. When that desire increases, here's another formula now. When that desire increases, dukkham doesn't increase, sukham increases. When the spiritual desire increases, sukham, that is joy comes, bliss comes, that is spiritual. When the material desire increases, material miseries comes. When the spiritual desire increases, spiritual sukham comes. That's the formula. That's what I learned from Pingala. Now, the next guru is Sparrow. This is nice. Sparrow. There was a small sparrow, and the sparrow was looking for something to eat. And it found a small meat, a piece of something, insect or something, small meat. And it went in with a pick, it just grabbed that meat. It took the meat. Now it's going to eat. When it grabbed the meat, it just raised its head and saw there's a crow rounding around the sparrow. Before that, the crow was not there. As soon as it took the piece of food, the crow started, around on the top of it. And it saw further up, above the crow, there was a hawk rounding the crow, and then down the sparrow. Above that, there's a big vulture also. So it's just going hierarchy up and up. Everyone lined up for the small sparrow which is holding that meat. The sparrow was thinking that all this while, no one bothered me. No one bothered me. No, I got no message saying, how are you doing? Hare Krishna. No one even bothered me. As soon as I got something, I got some skills, or I got some name, I got some fame, I got some prestige in society. Now, crow came, hawk came, vulture came. Everyone is behind me now. So the sparrow decided one thing. The best way to get rid of these people, throw that away. So he just threw that piece of meat. Immediately, everyone disappeared. Don't ask me why they come and ask. That's not we are not building a story here. Just understand the message here. They all went away. So the Avadhuta is saying that everyone is attached or some way or the other trying to take things from us. If you are a rich man, they will be behind you. Because you have riches. If you have something, if you have a fame in such a way you can influence people and do something, they'll be behind you. People are behind you for something. Therefore, as much as we are attached to that thing which they are behind, they're not attached to us. They're attached to what we have. That's what they're looking for, not anything else. When we say, I don't care about these things, then they will go away. Right? So just say that, I'm not going to do this for you. I'm not going to, I don't have anything, or you lost everything in something in your business. Then the same people will not even come and say hi to you. You will not be the person who will be a chief guest, right? You will not be invited for anything because you don't have what they wanted anymore. Therefore, you are one among them. That's a lesson I understood from the story. And another story, another guru is a child. How much time we have? Yeah, we have time. Another one is a child. You go, especially we can learn, we can see this one. The child are in such, they are so much innocent that you chastise them, they'll cry, they'll be upset. Within few seconds, they'll be normal. And you praise them. For them, the praising or chastising, they don't really worry about it because they're a child. Right? They're just not worried about it. That's what I learned from a child. Be like a child. When people praise us, just let them praise. You think as if they are praising someone else. Or feel like the best thing is that when they're praising, think that they're praising not you, your body. Because you're not the body. When they're chastising you, feel the same. Because Atma cannot, they are not seeing your Atma and praising you. They are not glorifying, they are not chastising your Atma because they don't see your Atma. Everything that they see is only in relation to the body. Think that they are doing something else, not to you. Their praise or criticizing is to your body, not to you. I understood that from a child. Now comes another small story. Kumari, Vase Bahunam Kalaho Bhavet Varta Dvayor Api Eka Eva Vaset Tasmat Kumaraya Eva Kankanaha. Kankana means bangles. Bangles. So this young, beautiful girl in a poor family, she is there. They don't have wealth, but they want to get a daughter married. So luckily, one family is coming to see the girl in that village. They're coming. And so the parents told to the girl that go and prepare something. They're coming. You have to prepare something. So she went inside the kitchen and she started, she had this, the stone grinder, like how Krishna got bound to the mortar, like that. She had that. She started pounce on that one, breaking the grains and trying to prepare something. And she had this glass bangles because they're poor people. She had this glass bangle. When your glass bangle, it makes more noise. So she was doing that. It was making, and those people are already there coming. They are inside the house almost. And when the bangles make the sound, she was afraid now because she was thinking, if they hear the sound of my bangle, they will understand what status we belong to. Therefore, they may refuse to get me married. She started, let me remove few bangles. So she had few bangles here. She had said she removed 2 of the bangles. And there's 2 in the left hand and 2 in the right hand. But still it was making noise because the 2 are there, right? Still it was making noise. She said, okay, that is not good. So she said, let me remove 1 more bangle. 1 more bangle from here. Now only had 1 here, another 1 here. Then no sound at all. I learned something from this. Can you even imagine, we can get a lesson from such things? Because understand who's telling the story. You all remember who's telling the story to who? Krishna is telling the story to Uddhava. So these are coming from Krishna. These stories are coming from Krishna. Just imagine how, therefore, when any situation we see, we can learn lessons from that. Anything, small thing, we can learn lesson from that for our growth, right? So Krishna is telling this. She was with only 1 bangle and she was successful. Then everything went well. And that is all good. What are you trying to tell? Everyone should wear only 1 bangle or what?
Not sure.
Now, yeah, that you can derive multiple lessons to this one. What the message that the Avaduta learned from is when people get together, you know about that person, you know about this person, you know about this person, they chatter, gossip, gramya katha. When you get together, they start talking too many things. Even when you gather in spiritual, sometimes it goes out of the topic to talk about something else. It's always better if you're by yourself. If you're by yourself, the problems will be less because you won't get chance to talk to someone. They are not going to come and talk to you. Therefore, you have all time to meditate upon God, chant and study and progress spiritually much faster. The idea is not to say that you don't go to any satsanga. Be careful even when you are in satsanga. That's the message. Because we are all humans. There are high possibility that we get into unnecessary talks. When we are going to satsanga, what's the purpose of going? You're going to go and hear lecture. You're going to go and hear some kirtan. Just hear. And you have your prasadam. Talk minimum thing what is necessary for you and get out of this place as soon as possible. I'm not joking. Serious. As soon as possible, you attend the program, do some service if possible, get out of this place immediately, even if it's a satsanga program. We have to do this one. Otherwise, you stay there. What happens is it becomes social program next. It's not any more spiritual program. If you have not experienced, please, you want to try a couple of programs, stay in the program and see after the program. Even if Maharaj comes and gives a program, after Maharaj goes, sannyasis goes, see how the mood changes over the period of the time. Then we start joking about each other and pulling others thing and all sort of things, talks happens. What's not needed. Therefore, we go for the purpose, get out of safely. That should, don't get out before completing your service though. Do your service and get out. I heard from Lal Gopal that you have to get out as soon as the lecture is over, take your box and go away. Please stay back and complete the service, help the host, do all those things, but get out after that. That should be the mood. Otherwise, it's like multiple bangles makes noise. Okay. And then here's another one, arrow maker. I'm not reading each and every sloka. It's going to take more time. So we are just going through the message here. Okay. Yeah. So arrow maker, this hunter, he saw a bird that is in the tree. He saw, and he want to get the bird. So he is making an arrow. His arrow. An arrow, when he was making, he's making, sharpening the arrow. Very focused, very focused. And he didn't even realize there's a big parade is going. King is going. Big parade is going. The king is also going. Heavy noise with all the drums and bugles and all those things. Heavy noise. The king is going, passing by. And this man had no awareness that the king was going because he was so focused in making, sharpening the arrow. I learned something from this person. What is that? The time, place, circumstance, and environment doesn't matter. If you're focused in what you're doing, doesn't matter. Right? Just now, previously he said, you be alone. Yes or no? One bangle story. You should all remember whenever you're wearing bangle now. Bhagavatam story. Right? So just now he said, you be yourself. So there's no gossip opportunities. Now here, it is said that time, place, and circumstance doesn't matter. You can be focused. But we are not in that level yet. We are not. Therefore, we have to be choosy where our time, our place, and our environment. We have to be choosy. Once we reach to that stage, then it really doesn't matter for us. This is for those people who are in that stage of dhyana. Dhyana nishtha. This is called dhyana nishtha. Nishtha means completely undisturbed. Nishtha, dhyana nishtha. We covered these things in Bhagavad Gita also. Next guru is, interestingly, a snake. Snake is my guru. You all know that snake doesn't have its own house. Snake doesn't have its own house. What it does is, someone will build the house. It will occupy that place. Ant hill. Snake does not go to Bank of America and took the mortgage to build a house. The ants build the house. It goes inside and occupies. And the mice, rat, they dig the hole, or the whatever the in our garden we see a lot of holes. This the different animals comes and makes holes. Yeah. Holes. Whatever. So they make hole, and happily snakes enters there. Note that snake does not have a house, but someone will make the house. It enters there and pulls whatever it wants and go to another house. It doesn't stay there permanently though. It goes there, takes what it wants, and go to another house. Takes there and go to another house. That's what it does. When the snakes enter the rat makes a nice hole with great difficulty and goes and takes the cheese or carrots or whatever it is and goes inside and collects it and eats. The snakes enters. It goes enters. And the rat is behind. It understood the snake is coming. It's entering. It understood the snake is coming. Now the only way, there's no other way to go further. That's not the time where it can dig further and escape. It's at the end of the road. It's house. The only way it can escape from the snake is by pushing off what it has in the front. So the snake takes what it gets, thinks that's it, and then it goes away. Yes? That's one way to escape from the snake. But if you try to get a hold to what you have, it's not only that what you have is going to go away, you will also go away. You means we all. I'm not telling you. I'm also included. We all will go away. Sometimes when speakers get into that mode, it's the language changes. So please excuse me. I'm on the same boat also. So same hole also. So So this rat has to push things off. The snake comes, takes it, and thinks, I'm happy, and it goes to another hole. That's all it does. That's what it does. Likewise, the same thing, this applies to the sannyasa dharma. When sannyasi comes, not to think that his snake is coming. Don't think, oh, Maharaj is coming. No, the snake is coming now to my house. That's not the message. The two messages there. One message is sannyasi should not have homes. That's the message. That means he's telling this, Avaduta is telling, I don't have a place. Remember, the king asked, how are you so happy? Because I don't have to pay monthly payments to mortgage. There's no, the Amaranth's bill and whatever, bills, this bill, sewage bill. I don't have anything to do. Why? You don't have a house? I don't have a house. How come? Everything is my house. I can go wherever I want. Every place is my house. Sannyasi. Every place is my house. That's one thing. Second thing is that when they come, we have to give them. We give them. If we don't give them, when they come, the time will take it away. Not that they are going to come and take away. They will not do that. They are gentlemen. They will not do it. But the time, God is watching. He will tell, you're not even giving to the sannyasi who's coming to your house. Therefore, I will take away from you everything. You're so attached. Let me reduce your attachment. Okay. Next one. Now after telling all the different types of stories, gurus, now is getting to the essence of how he learned about the supreme creator, God, Narayan, the Lord. That he learned from the spider. Spider. The spider, sometimes if you don't clean your house, you can come to my house, you can see how always it's like that, because I do a bad job of keeping the house clean outside. So there's a web, right? There's a web, spider web. And if you want to construct your house, you need materials. We want to construct, we need materials. Where do we get the materials from? I'm asking. Where do you get the material? If you want to build your kitchen, remodel the kitchen, what do you do?
From a contractor.
From a contractor. Where does the contractor get the materials from?
Home Depot.
Home Depot. Any of those shops. They go and get it and come. When they come and put it back there. And say, for example, you want to demolish a house and then build a new house. When you demolish your thing, what will happen to the demolished thing? It will go to the Home Depot again? Oh, come on, why not? That's where you got it from initially. You should go there actually. Does it go? Answer is no. Even if you go and take, they're not going to take it. I learned something from spider. Avaduta is telling. How does the spider create this web? Where does the spider get the material from? Home Depot? Where? Exactly. It's saliva. From within itself, it creates this web. However it does. It creates this beautiful web. When it wants to destroy the web, what it does, it takes it back. We don't let it, we clean it up and destroy that. But if you let it, it will take the web back into it. Yeah, it takes it back. It can do that. Maybe nowadays in Kali Yuga, spiders are lazy to do that. I don't know. But it has a capacity of producing it and taking it back. What do you learn from this one? Everything is coming from that one supreme Eko Narayana Asit. There was na Brahma, na Shiva, na Indra. There was not Shiva, there was not Brahma, there was not Indra, nothing was existing. There's only one person was existing, Narayana. Narayana. From him, everything comes, like a web comes out of the spider. Srishti happens. When the time of Pralaya, everything again goes back to him. This is what I see from the spider. Eko Narayana Asit. Then he's wrapping up now. It's time for us to wrap up also. So he's wrapping up now. I learned something from Wasp. The Wasp. Wasp. I learned something from Wasp. What do you learn from that? The wasp is something like it when it's small. When there is a bigger insect try to come, the wasp is something. It is a small. When it is tiny, then it's afraid of something else will come and eat it. It's small. I don't. It will be small, and then it grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. When small, it meditates upon something will come and eat me. Something will come and eat me. Maybe some creature, whatever the creature. It keeps meditating about that which is going to come and eat me. As it meditates, what happens is it turns into that nature, and also his whole body also transforms into that particular insect. It can change into that one. The point I understand here is by being like that, by meditating upon Guru, saintly person, we can also cultivate their good qualities. We can become like them. Not we become them. We can cultivate their good qualities by meditating on our Gurus constantly. In their lifetime, their lectures, their behaviors, how they deal with people, how they talk, how they smile, how they eat. When we constantly meditate upon these things, then we become like them, developing their good qualities. And the last thing he says is that this is a bonus one. 24 is over by now. The bonus one is adding to that one is, I learned something by my body. My body itself a guru. Have you ever thought our body can be a guru? We always look for guru outside. Now he's saying my body itself a guru. Deho gurur mama vivakti viveka hetur bibhradasma sattva nidanam tatatarti udarkam. Said my body is also my spiritual master. It teaches me how to be detached. Teaches me how much we can easily understand how we were in the young age. When we were in college time, in school time, in college time, people used to have a long hair. Sometimes we'll have long hair and do like this, and then all sort of different things, styles, and wear your this thing and that thing. So many styles are there, right? That you can try to make. So now I can understand from my body that is a place of destruction. It's a place of destruction. Always ends up with pain. No body is continuously going to give us pleasure. No, none of our body is going to do that. We all have to, if not now, one point at a time, we all have to go through pain through this body. We are going to have pain. So I learned from this body, from my body, there's a place of misery, pain. Although using my body to acquire knowledge, I still remember that it will ultimately be consumed by others, and remaining detached, I move about this world. In this way, I move around this world. I understand I have to live in this body. I can't help, but best out of bad bargain. Whatever I can utilize with this body, I will utilize. Therefore, the body should be used in the service of Krishna all the time. Because eventually the body is going to give us pain. When the body starts giving pain, that time we can have excuses saying, I cannot do service. But when the body is working fine, better use that body in the service of Krishna and the devotees. These are my gurus. That's why I'm happy. That is why I'm happy. And the King Edu hears this. He falls at his feet, and he understood learned a lot of messages from this, and he became happy also. So that's the end of these chapters. And we'll stop here and open up for any comments, questions, discussions, corrections. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
There was another vast story in the beginning of our maybe. I just remembered it when we're talking about this fast.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, that is, yes. That is that is from Bhagavat, that is from the 10th canto. It's about the message, the honeybee. Brahmarambam. Brahmara. Brahmara means that honeybee, where it goes as a messenger to Krishna. The gopis sends the honeybee as a messenger to Krishna.
That's the Gita, right?
Yes, Brahmara Gita.
There was another story you said, I think, at the beginning. I can't remember the story then, but
No, I can't remember either. Anyone else from the online have anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for your wonderful lecture. I have a comment and then a question. So the comment is that I really like the Pingala story. I mean, thank you for actually, reminding us all this for this revision actually. So I really like that Pingala story that our husband, supreme husband is Krishna. I mean, when we know this thing, we become completely like stress-free, and when we know our identity, we don't make any unnecessary expectations. So that is kind of a good reminder, and we should remind ourselves every day that I feel like. Thank you for that. And I have a very silly question. I'm feeling a little bit embarrassed to ask this question, but the question is, so you said that from the Bangles story, Bangles thing, that we should not do any kind of like, unnecessary chattering and all. So you gave examples like go to the satsanga and then attend the satsanga and then do service and then come back. I was feeling like Prabhuji, like could you please little bit elaborate on the definition of Vaishnava friendship, because it feels like it is little bit mechanical because we go to our professional spaces, we just do our job, and we know that we cannot expect any genuine friendship over there because our goal is to earn money and we just come back. But when we talk about any spiritual organization, and if our viewpoint is like this, then what should be our take on the Vaishnava relationship? I just wanted to ask.
Here is the thing. We have to stick on to the purpose of what we are doing. The purpose is to go to the program, attend the program, do some service, get some association, and come out. Outside that, you're welcome to have that Vaishnava relationship. You can invite devotees to your house. You can go to their house and have that loving relationship all the time. That is not to say that we should not meet with any devotees at all. Right? At that time, the conversation could be, even in that time when we meet, it could be more than one family. It could be again 2-3 families together. That's also fine. But the point here is stick on to the topic of what has been discussed in that one, rather than going out of the topic. Whenever the topic goes out of the topic, talking about some other devotees, then unless it is a glorification, then we should not do that one.
Yeah, I mean, like not criticizing others, but definitely like the spontaneous relationship can be there, right? I mean, friendship can
be there. It should always be there. I was just trying to emphasize on how careful we should be in the spontaneous relationship also. Otherwise, it may get into unnecessary discussions.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you. Doesn't mean that we have to be serious with each other. We can have jovial, nice conversation, friendly relationship, friendly talk. All those things are good. But one has to keep their limits and careful at the same time how they converse with each other.
Yes, Prabhuji, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
Otherwise, it'll be boring also among devotees. If there's no fun among devotees, they get bored. It doesn't mean that let's have fun and let's watch Amitabh Bachchan movie. That's where the problem comes. That's not the thing. Let's go to the movie, let's go to the restaurant. All those things should be avoided. Did you watch the latest movies released in India? These talks and all those things should be avoided. Okay. Anything else?
I have another
Yes.
question. In one of the question answers is karma determined by his character
Yeah.
by karma.
Yeah.
One of the things I think you said was to see life events through the eyes of the scripture. I wasn't sure what that meant. Is it like the examples, like, all of this that you just covered, where you look at things and learn lessons for spiritual progress, or does it mean?
So the question, I'll just repeat the question so they can hear. I don't know if they were able to hear or not. The question is, one of the audio that I sent is about whether the karma defines our character. I'm angry, then it's coming from my previous karma or vasana, etc. So one of the things that we have, Kiranji is saying that one of the point that I mentioned was see things that's happening through the eyes of the scriptures. And she's asking, is this how we see the happenings, like the examples that we saw now? That's the answer. Everything that's happening in our life could be a lesson for us to see through the script. This is all through the scriptures, whatever has been said. So it's when we try to get angry, then we try to see the scriptures through the scriptures of what happened to the angry people from the scriptures, Ravana behavior, or when our desire is not getting satisfied, how Shurpanaha went through. Our desire was not satisfied. What did she go through? Some things like that we can always see through the scriptures. For that, we have to do one thing, that is, what happens to all of us is that immediately our things we get into the reactive mode. That's where the problem is. Something happens, we want to just jump and take action of it. That's where the problem is. But the person that's because that's really because the cause is because of our Rajoguna. Still, the Rajoguna is prominent in us. Therefore, we want to take action immediately. The only way is to increase our Sattva Guna by whatever we are trying to do. Don't give us space for Rajoguna. Constantly hearing, constantly chanting, constantly associating with saintly people, doing services. That's the only way we can suppress the Rajoguna so we don't react to the situation. Then we'll become sober. And someone says something happens, we'll not react, we'll think for a minute. And then we'll take a proper step. I think it's 12:01. We'll end here. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna. Forgive me for any offenses.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are going to turn this off. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Balaradhika Mataji. Narayana Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Pradeep ji. Hare Krishna.